The Psalmist in Psalm 119 and verse 97 says the following, Ma ahavti Toratecha. Oh, how I love your law, your Torah. It is my meditation all the day. Kol hayom sichati. Ma ahavti Toratecha. How I love your Torah, your teaching, your instruction, O Lord. If you desire to know the mind of Messiah, if you want a glimpse into the heart of Yeshua, as a devout Jew, as a teacher, a rabbi, raising up disciples, teaching words of life to equip them for godly, holy living, you must be able to say with the psalmist, how I love your Torah. It's a difficult thing for us to say as Christians because for centuries now we've had such deep prejudice against the law. But if you want to know Jesus' attitude towards the Torah, towards the law, you can find it recorded in Psalm 1, Psalm 19, Psalm 119, the longest chapter in the Bible by number of verses, and every verse is some exaltation, some extolling of God's Torah. It is written that in the beginning was the Word, and to the Jewish ears who read John's epistle, they understood that the Word was Torah, was God's teaching. And that Word became flesh, became incarnate. In other words, Yeshua was the Word made flesh, or said another way, in a more Jewish frame of reference, he was Torah incarnate. He came from his Father who gave this divine instruction to his redeemed children of Israel, and he came to illuminate, to explicate, to expound upon that very instruction so that you and I, as his disciples, can walk in the light that the Torah reveals for us, the path that it leads to holiness, the straight way that befits God's name. Yeshua understood, as did his apostles and disciples, that the Torah was a gift of God's grace. It was given to a redeemed people. God didn't send Moses to Egypt with the law and said, now Israelites, children of Israel, if you will agree to keep my law, then I will save you. One cannot be saved by works. And the sages of Jesus' day never taught that one could. Indeed, all they had to remember was the Exodus itself. God saved Israel by his grace, by his covenant pledge to Abraham, his steadfast loyalty to the promise. And so he saved Israel by his grace, and then once they were redeemed from the slavery of Egypt, then he brought them to himself at a mountain. And there on the mountain, as it were, his disciple Moshe went up to the mountain and was there with God himself, who became the teacher, the rabbi, if you will. And he gave Moses instruction. But that instruction was written on tablets of stone by the finger of God. And we know from Matthew's gospel that the finger of God is a Hebrew idiom for the Spirit of God. So the Torah in Hebrew, was always viewed as a gift of God's grace given to a redeemed people in order to provide them guidance and direction and instruction as to how to live. I mentioned to you that Karen, my wife, was a school teacher in Israel. And the word for a female school teacher is ha-morah, the teacher. Morah from Torah, it's related. Torah, in a word, means teaching. It's guidance and direction and instruction. Now, in that Greek translation of the Hebrew Scriptures called the Septuagint, done a couple of centuries before Jesus, the Greek word that was chosen to translate the Hebrew word Torah was the word namas, which is our word law. But it's created a lot of problems. Along with our deep antipathy towards Jews and Judaism within Christianity, we tend to see the law as something onerous, something that we need to be freed from. Something that, as one person said to me once, was nailed to the cross. But do you understand that at the cross of Jesus, at Calvary, God did not double-cross himself? He's not a God who gives guidance and direction and instruction so as to lead to life for his redeemed people, so they can walk with him, and then turn around and say, you know, I don't like that plan. I made a mistake. So I'm going to have to take that which I gave them and crucify it. No, come on. God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Even within the New Testament frame of reference, we are saved by God's grace.